ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Friday, November 1st. It is your final show of the week before we get into Marshall football tomorrow. Taking on ULM. Your drive begins now here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is going to be 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can also find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. We got a lot to get into today. It's a high school football Friday night across the region. Several matchups to tell you about. We're going to hear from Dicky Martin a little bit later on. On the road this evening, Tomcats are in action, taking on a team that is pretty good in Class 6A. They've got Simon Kenton. That's coming up tonight on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. We've got high school football action right here, however, on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Huntington High going to be taking on Parkersburg tonight. That's a road trip for the Highlanders. Cabell Midland's playing host to Capital, and that's coming up on our sister station, 97.9 The River. We get the video stream of that game as well. You can go to our Facebook page. Just do a search for ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. You can also go directly to our website, WRVC.com. You want to watch that one. And, of course, Spring Valley is taking on South Charleston. That's coming up tonight on 92.7 and 98.5 The Planet. And we got the big one tomorrow. Marshall taking on Louisiana Monroe. 3:30 kick. We go on the air at 12:30. You can listen to our pregame coverage on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, as well as 93.7 The Dog. So we got a lot going on this weekend, so we're going to get into it with you. And again, one more reminder, the text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You know, the state tournament's going on tomorrow, and cross-country state tournament, Cabell Midland. Someone just texted me and said, hey, just give a shout-out to those folks. All right, shout-out it is. Just give a shout-out to everybody. So we'll get the text line going fully. We'll get into what's happening with the Thundering Herd on the football side of things as Marshall taking on this ULM team. The theme this week, or at least that's been the storyline from Coach Huff, is this team is much improved. That's the storyline he has set for this game. And they are much improved. And if you missed our conversation yesterday with the voice of the ULM Warhawks, I encourage you, go to our podcast page right now and get that. You can download it. It's free. You can also go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. There seems to be some confusion going on today. I caught into this earlier. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but General Booty is not the starting quarterback for ULM anymore. So that was going on in social media for some reason. So I know Luke Creasy from HD has been covering it, and we talked about it yesterday with Mike Hammett. He's the play-by-play voice. And so if you missed that interview, go back and get it. It's available right now on the podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just wherever you get your podcasts. So news of the day. It has to be Kylie Maston doing Kylie Maston things. Kylie became the first women's cross-country individual champion in Marshall program history. The cross-country team finished third at the Sun Belt Championship. So congratulations to the women. Third is great. Kylie Maston, first women's cross-country individual champion. She rocked it today. A personal best 5K time of 17:06, and she earned her third all-conference award. Get this. I don't know if you saw the video that was posted earlier from the Herd Athletic socials, but you're looking and like, where's Kylie? She's not in the lead. Where's Kylie? And then all of a sudden, Kylie just comes dashing by. and taking the lead. And it was almost one of those moments where the girl ahead of her was like, okay, I got this. And then here comes Kylie just to snatch that away from her. Kylie turned those burners on and just went. She kept everybody in view. And then when it was time to do Kylie Maston things, she did it. So she rocked that. And she not only won the 5K, she was named first team all-conference and cross-country runner of the year, Sunbelt. How about that? So Kylie Maston, GOAT status achieved and certified. She's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. When the Hall of Fame eligibility comes up for her, she's got to be a first ballot. There's no question. She has to be, and you have to put her in now. There's no more questioning that. She's definitely, if she wasn't already solidified in that regard, you put her in first ballot, no question. She's done amazing things for that cross-country team, and track and field's been doing pretty good stuff. The men now, the men didn't perform as well as the women, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the men, but they did perform well. But the women just had a more exceptional go of it. But the good news here is with the men, the good news here is I think that program on that side has been really improving. But the story has to be the women. So the herd will continue on. You got the NCAA Mid-Atlantic Regional Championships coming up. So, more for hopefully Kylie Maston, at least for Kylie, because again, she did exceptionally well today. She really represented the Thundering Herd and herself. And go watch the video. Do yourself that favor. It was just amazing to watch. The runner that was ahead of her, the girl looked like, okay, I've got this. And then Maston just came by. It was almost reminiscent of like how Forrest Gump would just go by you, because she turned those rockets on and flew. Outstanding today from Kylie Maston. All right, let's get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Plenty of high school games to talk about tonight. We've got Ashland Simon Kenton coming up on our sister station, Cat Sports in 93.3 and 1340. So we'll talk to Ashland play-by-play announcer Dicky Martin. He'll tell us more about Simon Kenton. Also, we have got football tomorrow. We've got football on Sunday. The Bengals taking on the Raiders. That's your Sunday radio game. The Browns taking on the Chargers. I'll be rooting for the Chargers. Steelers are facing off against Open, and I'll be rooting for Open. So hopefully the Bengals can get it turned around, taking on the Raiders Sunday. Marshall on Saturday. We've got it right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Highlanders coming up tonight, taking on Parkersburg. So a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. Well, when we continue, we'll start getting your text in. And we'll hear from Dicky Martin, talk a little bit about this Ashland game at Simon Kenton. And you can listen to it 7 o'clock, airtime, 7:30 is going to be first kick. We'll be giving you that game on our sister station, Cat Sports, in 93.3 and 1340. So on the other side of the break, we'll hear from Dicky Martin. And later on, we'll hear from you as we'll get you set for Marshall and ULM. Coming up tomorrow, Jones C. Edwards Stadium, and you can listen to everything right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hi, I'm Delegate Sean Hornbuckle, and I've always been appreciative of your support. It's an honor to serve you at the legislature, and I'm asking for your vote again. I will continue to fight for our community and partner with people at home to keep us moving forward. You can vote early starting October 23rd through November 2nd at Cabell County Courthouse or at Drinko Library at Marshall University. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th, and I'd be grateful to earn your vote again. Delegate Sean Hornbuckle.
Paid for by Hornbuckle for House.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's another Kendrick Communications Community Chatter. The Our Lady of Fatima annual spaghetti dinner is coming up Sunday, November 3rd from noon to 7 at Our Lady of Fatima's 535 Norrie Avenue in Huntington. Visit the Scholastic Book Fair, shop the Sweet Shop, enjoy live music at the spaghetti dinner.
This Kendrick Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Black Sheep Harley Davidson, 4th Avenue, 4th Street, downtown Huntington, online at blacksheephd.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to this November 1st edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. As we've been talking about, it's a busy night in high school football. And one of the showcase games that we always feature, the Ashland Tomcats on the road this evening, taking on Simon Kenton. And to tell us more about that matchup and recap what happened last week is the longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats, Dicky Martin. And last week was an exciting one, Dicky. We got our money's worth for that one.
Oh, did we ever? What a great football game. It was absolutely terrific. And good win for the Tomcats, I know that. Win the district championship. Gets them at least 2 home playoff games and that number 1 seed. And, the kids have worked hard. They worked hard, as did the coaches. And they deserved that. They had the perfect game plan, and it worked.
I think there are a lot of people you can highlight on offense, but you got to start with LeBryant Strader. He completed 19 of 25 passes, 236 yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, he made that offense sing last week.
Yep, he was. There were 2 kids on that team that weren't going to let us lose: LeBryant Strader and Braxton Jennings. They're two seniors. They've been through it. They know what it takes. And they said, we're not going to lose this football game. And those two took over and put us on their back, and we got the W.
I thought defensively you got some really good performances. Cameron Davis was outstanding.
I mean, defensively
tackles.
We did probably as well as we could. Their offense is just unstoppable. I mean, you can't stop it. You've got to be able to outscore Johnson Central. Even the games they've lost, they've had to be outscored by their opponent. So you've got to be able to put points on the boards. Their offense they just outnumber you, whatever side of the line they go, left or right. You know, they'll put 5 or 6 guys against your 4 or 5, and they've got you outnumbered, and that's it. If they got 1 or 2 more guys than you do, then they're going to pick up yardage. And, you know, we did hold them under 400 yards rushing, which was very nice, because that doesn't happen very often. But nevertheless, you know, they take a lot of time off the clock. They had 2 8-minute drives and a 7-minute drive, so they're unstoppable. But defensively, they give up points. So, and we were able to take care of that and you know, show up their weaknesses basically, and we were able to throw the football. And then toward the end, we were able to run the football pretty well. So we were able to score, and that's what it's all about.
We know your opponent now. On November 8th, it's going to be Harrison County. And That's going to be a 7 o'clock first kick. So just
7:30. We play at 7:30.
Is it 7:30? Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the state may say 7, but we're going to play at 7:30.
Okay. Well, I'll go with whatever you tell me. Forget what the state says, Dicky.
I mean, they can't tell you what your start time is going to be.
Yeah, they've got 7 listed. They've got 7 listed, but I'm going with your start time. You tell me when you play.
We'll go with 7:30.
Okay.
There you go.
Whenever you want to play.
We tell
Dicky.
them what's going on.
I like it. Dicky Martin's my guest. So Harrison County at 7:30. Forget what the website says. It's 7:30 per Dicky Martin. But you can't look too far ahead because you got a tough one tonight. Simon Kenton.
Yeah, and we need to win this game tonight. We win this game tonight, we're going to get 3 home playoff games rather than 2, maybe even a 4th, depending on what happens throughout the playoffs. But you win tonight, you're going to get that 3rd playoff game. You're going to keep your RPI up there, and because we can't pass the 3 teams in front of us because they're all undefeated, and they're all going to win tonight, I would think. So we're a 4 seed, and that's the best we can get this year. But we got to win tonight. We win tonight, we'll get that 3rd home playoff game, which will be a big game because it's a regional championship, and get you win that one, you're into the Final 4. So you never know. So it's a big game for us tonight, and we're facing a team that, much like Johnson Central, they want to score, and they'll give up a lot of points to do so. So the difference is they like to throw it, and Johnson Central likes to run it. So that's where we are.
Yeah, I was looking at their stats coming into this one, and they got a pretty good quarterback in the Brady Lee.
A real good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is averaging over 300 passing yards per game. He's almost at the 3,000-yard mark. He's got 22 touchdowns, but 14 interceptions,
right.
To go to your point earlier.
Exactly.
They like to score, but they will let you score so they can get a chance to score more.
Exactly. That's all they do. And he was there last year, and he cut us up pretty good. They scored 40-plus on us last year. We were just able to score 49. So we got to do a little bit better job defensively, and I think we will. But they're going to score some points, but there's nobody going to keep us off the board either. We got too many weapons, way too many weapons. People just can't guard us is the problem. Because they tried to shut down, Johnson Central tried to shut down Davis and Jennings last week. They double-teamed them on every play. So, hey, we go to Duckweiler. We go to Ashby. We go to Wolf, whoever it happens to be. Too many weapons. They can't guard us all the time.
Duckweiler had 84 yards, 3 touchdowns, just to highlight what he did.
He's got great hands. He's a good receiver, and he'd probably be a top receiver on another team. But, you know, he's with Davis and Jennings, and that's the way it is. So, and he knows that, and he's happy with what he's doing. And he had a career game last Friday, and he may have another one tonight. It depends on what they want to do. It depends on how they want to try and shut us down. I don't think they can. Nobody's been able to yet. So that's where we are.
Now, this team, as you highlighted, they do like to pass the ball, and they've gotten some decent ground yards. They've been able to run the ball. Is that more of just that's where the talent lies, or is that just always about how they like to run their system?
That's just scramble. The Simon Kenton team, their leading rusher is their quarterback. So they like to. They don't really have set running plays, so to speak. If your quarterback is your leading rusher, that means he's doing a lot of scrambling and getting some yardage. So, that's just the way it is. So we got to contain him, but we've got good speed, and we should be able to do that.
Defensively, what does this team like to do? How will they try to shut down Ashland tonight?
I don't think they can. I really don't think they can.
Well, we're not asking if they can. We're just going to ask you how they're going to try to.
I don't know. They might put a little pressure on Strader tonight. Jefferson Central tried that last week. That didn't work. So they might try and put pressure on Strader tonight. If they do that, then we'll just run the football.
Dicky Martin's with us, longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats. It's comparing schedules, and again, you're going a bit out of your way to play a football game. So, compare schedules. So, what kind of level of opponent have they faced all year long compared to the Tomcats?
Oh, they're very good. They play. They're a 6A school. They're two classes above us, and they play very, very good competition. This team that Ryle has. They could make a Final Four appearance in 4A or in 6A, and then you've got Beechwood, which is always a 2A contender. They play a very, very difficult schedule. They're very good. They play good people. So, that's just the way it is. And we'll give them a run for their money. It's all we can do.
Is there that much of a difference in Kentucky with classifications? I know, and just it varies on where you're at and which part of the region you're in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, but not necessarily, say, for example, is Quad A a true indicator of what you're doing on the football field, or Triple A? Is it the same for Kentucky? They could be 6A, but you're saying they're pretty good 6A, so it really doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, they're very good. They got, next week their first playoff game is against Louisville St. X, who's got a chance of winning the 6A championship. So, that's just the way it is. So, they played good competition, as good as we have played, I think. They're a good football team, and one's got to be reckoned with.
Dicky Martin's my guest, the longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats. As the Tomcats get set to take on Simon Kenton. Why are we playing this game? Why is this game one that the Tomcats like to have on the schedule?
Well, last year was the first time we ever played them. We haven't played them before last year. It's just hard for us to find games. That's the bottom line. And we got to, if somebody's willing to play us, we'll travel. I mean, we've been to Elizabethtown, Bardstown. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if Simon Kenton wants to play and they got an open date, and Coach Tackett feels like we got to play 10 games, and I'm like him, we need to play 10 football games. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play that 10th one. If we have to travel to Simon Kenton, then we got to travel to Simon Kenton.
Dicky Martin's my guest, longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats. He's done it all. He's seen it all. I'm going to get you some Skyline chili, Gold Star. You're up in that area now. What you going to get tonight?
No. We're on the highway now, and we'll head to Simon Kenton and play some football and get ready to play.
At least you get something after the game, Dicky. Come on.
Well, I guess we could.
Yeah.
It's going to be late getting out of there, and it's a 3-hour drive home. So there you go.
Looking for a good crowd tonight, final game of the regular season.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of crowd Simon Kenton's got. We'll take our normal several hundred. And because it's going to be a good football game. I feel very comfortable it's going to be a good football game.
Dicky Martin, my guest. Next week, we talk playoffs with you. And, first, hopefully many playoff games. And we'll have all those games on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. Dicky, tell the people how they can listen to you tonight.
Well, you can get us on the FM dial at 93.3, the AM dial at 1340. You can go to our app and get that free in the App Store. And my favorite is to say, Alexa, enable Cat Sports 93.3, and by golly, there she does it. I don't know how she does it, but she does it, and I like her.
She likes you, too, I hear.
I guess. I don't know.
Dicky Martin, my friend and longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats. Have a fun time tonight. Should be a good one.
All right,
we'll be
Paul,
listening in, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
That's Dicky Martin, everyone. We will get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in West Virginia.
This message presented by the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
People think saving money is hard, but really, it's easy. It's as simple as changing a few spending habits. For free tips on how to save the easy way, check out feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Friday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is now open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I know we've been focusing mostly on high school football this Friday night. We do have Marshall tomorrow taking on ULM. 3:30, Jones C. Edwards Stadium. You know the drill. Get there early. We'll be on the air at 12:30 with our pregame coverage. ULM coming off a 46-17 loss to South Alabama, and so they're going to be trying to bounce back. They've had a good season under Bryant Vincent. They're 3-1 in conference play. So right now they're in the hunt for the West Division. And so that's important to know that. They're in the hunt. Marshall, 4-3, won against Georgia State, trying to stay unbeaten at home. Marshall is in the hunt on the east side. Need some things to happen, though. That's the one thing about that loss to Georgia Southern that's going to haunt the herd, is you need some things to happen. If you can take care of the rest of your business, and this is what your business looks like. Your business looks like this. ULM, then on the road at Southern Miss. Then home, final game, November 16th against Coastal Carolina. It's the 75 game. And then you've got two back-to-back road games at Old Dominion and at James Madison. Now, if you take care of all your business, maybe Georgia Southern slips up and loses a second game. And if you handle the rest of your business, you don't have to worry about tiebreakers. Because if it's just Marshall and Georgia Southern at the end of the day, both with identical conference records, Marshall loses that argument. So it's important for Marshall to do its part. First and foremost, Marshall's got to win. Because if Marshall goes down 2 losses in conference, then I don't see how the herd comes back. And I hate to say this, every game is sort of like a mini playoff game. You got to take that attitude. Because you lost at Georgia Southern. You blew that game against Georgia Southern. If you had that game in hand right now, then you could probably suffer a loss. I don't know if the schedule favors the herd because 3 of the next 5 are on the road. We know how the herd's performed on the road this year. Marshall has not been very good on the road. Losing at Virginia Tech, okay, I get that one. Ohio State, okay, I get that one. Losing on the road at Georgia Southern, yeah, you had that one. So now you just have to hope you can hold serve at home and then you can get the wins on the road. And Old Dominion doesn't look like it's going to be that easy. James Madison, yeah, that's probably push right now. I think this ULM team, though, is going to be a tough challenge for the Thundering Herd. And they've got a pretty good offensive group of players there. Aiden Arminka. Their quarterback is over 56%. And Ahmed Hardy leading the way on the ground game with over 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's been pretty good for them. But, of course, what Marshall needs to do is, obviously, Marshall has to be effective with A.J. Turner. A.J. Turner needs to be featured. And we still don't know who we're going to depend on at quarterback. Braylon Braxton was the quarterback given to us for interviews. That doesn't mean anything. It's been 1 week. Here's Braylon Braxton. Okay, Stone Earl's going to start. Or Stone Earl has been given to us in Braylon Braxton. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Braylon Braxton at this point. I'm pretty sure. I don't anticipate too drastic of a change there. I think they're going to roll with Braylon Braxton. But this is a team that pretty good on the run. But I think Marshall, if Marshall features Turner, I think Marshall's got a good shot in this game. This is what I think is going to happen. Marshall sees that they've got opportunity with A.J. Turner. And if you can keep them honest with the passing game, but feature Turner, I think you win this game. Absolutely win this game. But it's going to be, I think, a challenge for the Herd. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, Marshall probably looking at this going, okay, we could probably run on them. We could probably get some of those leaky yards Coach Huff talks about. I think that's what we're looking at here from this game. And historically, this is going to be interesting because for the majority of people that are going to this game, you've never heard of ULM until you got into the Sun Belt. You probably didn't know too much about them. And so the name change has probably thrown a lot of people. This used to be Northeast Louisiana. So when Northeast Louisiana in the 1AA days faced off against Marshall, and the one time that these two teams met, it was in the 1AA championship game. And ULM got that win by 1 point, 43-42. Stan Humphries, to this day, a name that will never leave my mind. It was a fun game. It was an amazing game. It was really exciting game. And of course, that's where I think it truly started to take hold that, okay, maybe Marshall football is on the rise here. You had to get a winning season. And then after you started getting winning season, you all of a sudden were able to get to a point where you're competing, you're playing for a 1AA championship, and then you got the program going to the point where, okay, it was expected to be in the playoffs every year. It was almost expected to be in the championship game every year. Marshall won 2 of those. Marshall was featured in plenty more, but won 2 of them. But still, this game, you circle this game as far as Marshall history is concerned. And yesterday, when we talked to Mike Hammett, he kind of alluded to the fact that this still might be the biggest win in ULM history, the game against Marshall for the 1AA National Championship. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, the Herd will win but not cover the 10.5. The score is going to be 34-30. Go Herd. Appreciate the text. You think it's going to be that close, 34-30? I haven't seen too many score predictions. Now's a great time. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Yeah, I don't even think I've seen the spread on this one this week. I've been focused on other things. I haven't even bothered to look at the spread. What is the spread on this? 10.5? Is that what we're saying it is? I got to research that real quick. Because I'm not a spread guy. I'm not a betting guy. I hear that's the thing these days. So right now, ESPN, what's ESPN telling me? ESPN is telling me about this game. I think they've got Marshall winning this in their predictor. Okay, so according to ESPN Bet, the spread right now is Marshall minus 11. Marshall minus 11. Okay, it opened at 10.5. It's right now at 11. The over-under is 47.5. Do you take the over or you take the under on this one? I'm thinking you take the over. 304-396-TALK is our text line. 304-396-8255. More coming up. Today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 in AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, John Garten, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the Tri-State.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's knbpestcontrol.com online, and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free, 304-523-4281.
Or go to knbpestcontrol.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Attention, men. If you are listening to this radio ad, congratulations. There is great news. Right now, Noxitril, a leader in men's health, is conducting a research study, and you can take part in this free trial. A powerful discovery for men has been touted as a revolutionary step in male enhancement and performance in the bedroom. You can participate in this free trial, but you need to hurry to get your spot. The demand to try this proprietary male performance blend has been insane. This all-natural breakthrough is changing the game for men and will unlock your door to perform with the confidence in the bedroom you could only dream of. Space is limited, so call now and find out how to get started with your free bottle.
Call 800-480-4983, 800-480-4983. Hurry now, demand is insane, and free bottles won't last long. So call now, 800-480-4983. That's 800-480-4983, 800-480-4983.
Attention, men. If you are listening to this radio ad, congratulations. There is great news. Right now, Noxitril, a leader in men's health, is conducting a research study, and you can take part in this free trial. A powerful discovery for men has been touted as a revolutionary step in male enhancement and performance in the bedroom. You can participate in this free trial, but you need to hurry to get your spot. The demand to try this proprietary male performance blend has been insane. This all-natural breakthrough is changing the game for men and will unlock your door to perform with the confidence in the bedroom you could only dream of. Space is limited, so call now and find out how to get started with your free bottle.
Call 800-480-5234, 800-480-5234. Hurry now, demand is insane, and free bottles won't last long. So call now, 800-480-5234. That's 800-480-5234, 800-480-5234.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
It's our final segment for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up tomorrow, we go on the air at 12:30. It's Marshall, ULM. Kickoff set for 3:30. Don't forget, get there early. Boy, the Lions get there early. This is senior day as well for the Thundering Herd. So senior day is kind of morphing into something a little bit different. Some players walk, some players don't. Transfer portal, it's so crazy these days. But for those who do decide to walk and be a part of senior day, of course, you'll be able to cheer them on as they, not for the last time, but they walk as seniors for the Thundering Herd. Let's go back to our text line. Texter says, Paul, T-Pain and the defense both have big game performances. Marshall, 32, LM, 13. Big game performances. I'll take it. I want some big game performances. I just want A.J. Turner to have big game performance. That's what I want. Absolutely. I think this ULM team, you could probably take advantage of them. If Turner gets hot, Turner could probably shred this team. I say that now, and of course, it's going to be this really low-scoring, close affair tomorrow. And again, looking at the over-under. Do you take the over or do you take the under? Right now, ESPN Bet says 47.5 is the over-under on this one. It opened at 10.5 for the Thundering Herd. Right now, it's minus 11. So you think the Herd is 11 better than ULM, or is that maybe underselling the Herd, or is this going to be a lot closer? I'm still suspecting that Marshall is going to have a little bit more of an easy time on the ground. But if you look at what ULM has done, they lost to Texas pretty bad, 51-3. Okay, that's going to happen. They beat Troy. They beat JMU, and they beat Southern Miss, and then they lost to South Alabama. Of those games, Troy's not as good as it once was. JMU, not as good as it was last year, and Southern Miss has had some issues. And so they've gotten some wins over probably programs that, if everything being said is true, this is a much better ULM team, and so they should have won those games. And then they get beat by South Alabama, so they're trying to bounce back in this one. And the Herd, of course, trying to maybe shake off some rust after a game. We have to go all the way back to October 17th. How crazy has this schedule been? You play October 17th, and you got to wait all the way till November 2nd. And then we're not even done yet. We got to go all the way through November. We've got 5 games in November. The 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And then we're hoping that we're talking about a conference championship. And only if Marshall can win out and Georgia Southern does Marshall a favor and loses somewhere between now and the final game of the regular season. More of your text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our number to be a part of our text line here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And, of course, after this one, we got basketball. Believe it or not, are you ready for that? Can you believe it's here? I think that's what's really hard to imagine. It's just snuck up on us right now with basketball here. Now, I know it's Davis and Elkins, and so you might think, all right, is basketball season really here? Yeah, this one counts, so you got to count it. And, of course, I think Davis and Elkins is probably it's a nice tune-up for Toledo. So we're right now on a Monday-Saturday rotation for a little while. So Mondays and Saturdays, and we're going to have Toledo. That game is going to be at 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 9th. And, of course, Marshall is taking on Southern Miss. That's on the road at 3 p.m. And if you're not aware, and we'll tell you more about it next week as we get you closer to it. So we got 2 games going on at the same time. So first up, I'm going to be at Giovanni's for a little longer. We're going to do our football pregame show. We always go there, Giovanni's 20th Street on the road. We go there. We're going to do our football pregame show, and then we're going to stick around, and we're going to do our basketball pregame show. And then I'm going to run over to the Henderson Center real quick, catch some of the game, probably catch Corny's postgame. And then I'm going to get back here at the station. Football game's probably still going to be going on. And so we're going to, after the football game's over, we'll have our postgame show. But we're going to have the basketball game on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The football game will be on 93.7 The Dog. And then we got to figure out what the schedule is going to look like on the 16th, because on the 16th, we don't know the Coastal Carolina time yet. So we don't know what time the basketball game is going to be. It's right now to be determined. And that's Bellarmine. And then on the 23rd, Marshall is taking on Purdue. That's at noon on Saturday the 23rd. And so Marshall is at Old Dominion that day. We don't have a time on that one yet. And then on the 30th, Marshall is going to be on at, looks like 8 p.m. That's a Saturday game against Western Kentucky basketball. The game at James Madison, we don't have a time for that as well. So it's going to be crazy these next few weeks. The only thing is certain as far as times will be is those midday games and those start of the week games. We know Davis and Elkins is at 7. We know, of course, Toledo's set for 2 p.m. We know Southern Indiana, that's a Monday game, set for 7 p.m. on the 11th. No time yet on Bellarmine, and no time yet on, let's see. I think that's it. Those are the games we're floating for. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be crazy because we've got basketball season starting up. And for the foreseeable future, and just depends, we've got a conflict with the basketball game and the football game on the 9th. We don't know exactly what the conflict will be on the 16th or the 23rd or the 30th. And then keep in mind, Marshall is going to be taking on UNCW on December 7th. Would it be nice if we're worrying about a conference championship, how that's going to roll? The good news is, though, that's on the road for the basketball team. But, yeah, we've got to jump around the next few weeks. So keep it right here. Every week, as soon as I know the game plan, I'll tell you where you can listen to either football or basketball. So if you want to listen to football this weekend, and usually it's going to be on 93.7 The Dog for football. So that's the game plan. Football on 93.7 The Dog this upcoming week, next week, with Marshall and Southern Miss. And then the basketball game will be right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So it'll be Marshall Toledo right here and Marshall and Southern Miss on 93.7 The Dog. And then we'll find out again when we get the time for Coastal Carolina what the game plan is going to be. Wouldn't it be nice if just back-to-back make it easier for everybody? But I don't think that's going to work. So I think Coastal Carolina on the 16th is pretty much going to dictate what happens, because that's a home game. So the good news is that's a home game. And so once we get that set up, the Bellarmine game will be – that time will be determined based off the football game. So if the football game's late, the basketball game's probably going to be early. If the basketball game, I can't imagine that game totally conflicting with Coastal Carolina. And of course, Coastal Carolina, I'm anticipating that's going to be an evening game. That probably will be an evening game. I'm just anticipating that for that matchup. We'll figure it all out together. We will be back with you tomorrow. 12:30 is going to be our airtime. We'll be at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, the West Lot, for our pregame coverage. I'll be joined by a cast of thousands as we get you set for Marshall and ULM. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and also on 93.7 The Dog. Don't forget high school football across the spectrum of Kindred Communication radio stations tonight. And then high school game night immediately following the Huntington Highlanders game. Lock it right here now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Good night, everyone.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.